I've got two topics I want to thoroughly comb through, okay? Cam Newton, one-time NFL MVP. He played with the Carolina Panthers. He played with the Patriots, and I'm not sure if he played at any place else, but yeah, teenagers, black teenagers, put hands on him. You can see the video footage. I did not post it in my community section, but Cam Newton, he had the big witch's hat, you know, the locks flying. And some young kids, this was in Atlanta, by the way, teeing off on Cam. Now, they didn't drop him. They didn't drop him, but he's trying to separate somebody, some type of scuffle. This was at the his 7v7 tournament. Okay, you can see security moving slow as black security does. Cam, you're lucky you didn't get shot. You're lucky somebody didn't pull out the stick and pop your dumb ass. Now, I don't know what actually prompted this particular melee, but this is breaking news right now. Cam Newton, hands were put on him. You have to see the full video because there's snippets going around that would lead you to believe only one person teed off on Cam. No, you had niggas with knapsacks swinging, somebody connected. Do we blame single mothers for the actions of these, you know, young black males, or did Cam run his mouth? Did Cam smash somebody's girl? Why did this take place at one of his tournaments? Holy smokes, all right? Also, guys, the new Bob Marley One Love movie, I'm going to review this. I got notes, as you know I do when I talk about certain things that I watch. I want you to know that I took the time. The new film, okay, I enjoyed it. I'm the objective hater. You know my age. I wanted to hate. I wanted to call it trash. A female by the name of Luna, an Italian female who I'm talking to, somewhat, sort of. She lives in the Philly area. She's not quite 40 yet. She watched it, and we're talking, and she said, I like it. You should watch it. And I said, it's probably trash, because I saw the trailer, and I wasn't too impressed weeks ago. But I took the time. I didn't look at it from the position of an older man, and truthfully, it doesn't have to have all the details about his life. This is a love story. Ziggy Marley, who I met decades ago when I was national director at Virgin Records, Rita Marley, they're both executive producers of this film. It's called One Love, starring Kingsley Benadir. He's a British actor, okay, born in 1986. He's 37 years of age. It worked. It worked. I tried to hate. I found myself saying, okay, well, this is not that bad. And you know what really made me like this film even more? So I'll keep it so real with you. There's no Batman business in the film. I was so worried that they were going to try and interject something, you know, as they do with a lot of foundational Black American, you know, cultural figures, icons, if you will. No Batman business. Troll babies, good evening. Are you up to speed? Anybody see the film? Do you want to call in and talk about this film? I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it was a monumental film, but it was not trash. I recommend it. I think if you're a father, a mother, take your children to see it. You won't be disappointed, okay? But again, you guys may feel different. Call in, all right? A little bit later, I want to put something on the table because there's always been a discrepancy about where Bob Marley and Rita wanted to bury his body. All right, phone lines are open right now. And I want to make sure that I'm promoting some of my sponsors. Guys, you can tap in if you're a sponsor. Just, you know, you don't have to join the conversation about the topic. Just, you know, send me an email and we will give you some premium placement, okay? Good evening, 919. You have to speed on the topics. Cam Newton, hands were put on him. 919.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, who's this? Hey.
This is Jen. How you, sir?
Jen, you said Jen or Jan?
Jen, Jenn.
Hey, Jen, how are you? What's cracking, lady?
I'm doing good. How you?
I'm
So
alive.
yes, I saw the video. He's got the Harry Potter hat on. He's dragging a dude with the dreads.
Hmm.
My thing is, do they not know that that was his job at one point to have multiple people coming at him and not fall? Like, I mean,
Are you there?
hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. Continue.
Yeah,
Continue.
yeah. I mean, I would love to know what the backstory is in terms of, why that whole incident even went down.
Hmm.
But I mean, I just can't. I, I'm I, I'm trying to fathom. Did they really think that somebody who has the history he has in the NFL as a professional athlete that they were going to be able to do much to him?
I hear what you're saying, but honestly, I don't think they care. That happened in Atlanta over the weekend. They,
Right,
they don't care what you used to do on the field. Yeah, in Atlanta, people pull up with the stick. He's lucky, if you ask me,
right.
and I don't believe in luck. So let's get serious for a second. Are you a mother? Are you a mother?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a teenage son, or what ages are your children?
No, no. I have a daughter who's 14.
Okay. Are you married respectfully? Do you have a father in the home with your daughter?
Divorced.
Okay. Single mother, yes.
But yes, but
Okay.
she does have a good male role models in family, uncles and
Right.
grandfather.
But nobody in the home. Let's keep it real. Nobody in the home. Nobody.
No,
No.
no, no.
Nobody checking her, telling her, "Hey, take off the jeggings. You know, you're not going to Walmart with the bonnet." Nobody's saying that, right?
We don't do the bonnet. We not that tier of a black woman. We
Okay.
don't do
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay. But pardon me. I'm on one. Okay. So the video footage, hands were put on Cam Newton. Yes.
Hands was put on him, but from what I saw, he kind of held his own. Did you see the part where he was dragging the dude with the dreads?
Who cares? Hands were put on Cam Newton. Is that funny to you? I mean, do you not understand
But
what I'm
I mean, the
saying?
way the way that you saying it though, it's like like he was on the ground and they were stomping him out, and it wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, if I'm standing there and I got beef with, however it was, like what, like 4, 5, 6 guys, all y'all running up on me and y'all ain't even getting me on the ground. Y'all ain't do nothing. Like, there ain't no win. They don't get no points for that.
Can I ask how old are you? You say you have a 14-year-old daughter. We're just having the conversation.
I am in my mid 40s.
Okay, okay, okay. Maybe it's just me. I think it's a sad reality that hands were even put on this man at his tournament. How did it get to that point? Never mind if they got any wins or not. Would they have done that to Tom Brady? Would they have done that to
Absolutely.
any Eli Manning? That's what I'm really trying to get to here.
And you know what? You're absolutely right for touching upon that point. That just goes to show you the state of a lot of the black youth in the particular generation that's going up right now. Honestly, if we gonna keep it a buck, my generation, because I think that my daughter would probably fall kind of like in the age group or gap, from what I could tell. They may be a little bit older, but you could. I just feel like my generation, we kind of failed a lot of these kids out here. We can easily say, point the finger, oh, this generation don't got no
Right,
respect.
right, right, right.
Well, where was they
Okay,
supposed to learn it from? You know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Thank you for the call, darling. Thank you so much.
You welcome.
Okay, I let her speak. I let her speak. You don't have to see it my way. It's not about whether he stood on business. I mean, that sounds great. He's lucky he didn't get shot in the head. He's lucky. I moved out of Georgia last year. Shots are ripping out of Glocks down there. No fucks are given. That's the point. They put hands on Cam Newton. Good evening, Sharice. I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, young lady. Okay. Gangster of Love, I see you, sir. The only Jamaican is Bob Marley. F the rest. Okay. Might you yourself be Jamaican, Gangsta of Love. I would like to hear from people about this film. I enjoyed it. And again, I looked at it from the position of a younger person. They don't have to know that Peter Tosh was the only actual musician when they first got started in 1964 as the Wailing Wailers. They don't have to know all that. They don't have to know that he wrote a song for Cindy and Rita was, singing the song in the background. It's a love story. Salute to Rita. And anybody want to call in and just put a little respect on Rita Marley's name, huh? I don't think she ever said, I'm quitting the band because you're smashing white bitches around the world. What a dedicated queen. Oh, and something else I want to mention. Hold on a second. I'm really glad that the family is benefiting off of this man's likeness, image, and other things, because Bob Marley, like Elvis and Bruce Lee and other icons from the 70s and 80s, it was such a job to try and control their image. Companies made millions off of merchandise, all sorts of things. Ashtrays. When you go to different Caribbean places, they're selling Bob Marley ashtrays, Bob Marley sandals. So I'm not mad at the family. I actually, I'm glad that they're benefiting here. Ricky Rick, I got your donation. Damn, Cam stood on business and didn't even lose his hat. Okay. Okay. Well, one of the young people now sued Cam Newton and his organization for endangering them. That's a possibility. Let's go to area code 347. Good evening, 347. You have to speed on the topics.
Yeah, this is the end of the game. Yeah.
Sir, you got too much noise in the background. Please, we want to hear what you're saying. Make the adjustment, sir, please. Thank you for calling, sir. Give me a second. We're gonna do a deep dive tonight of sorts. Area code 917. You there? Good evening. 917.
Star, what's going on? Good afternoon, man. Fuck Atlanta, man. And then they
watch your language, sir. You're not just gonna call in and talk like a savage off the rip. Watch your language.
No, yeah, gotcha. I said fuck. But anyway, this is why people leave and don't come back and do things. I don't know if they were mad that he had a migrant at the quarterback position. We don't know what was going on in there, but that's so embarrassing, man. And for people to say that he didn't suffer any losses, no wins. This is a man coming back trying to do something. And in the state of America right now, when so-called brown people, whatever you want to call yourself, at the bottom of the barrel, as you can see, you can't even come together. It's a shame, man. It's a shame. Cam dropped the football team. I wouldn't do nothing for him, man.
Yeah,
let them be the savages they want to be. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. French Montana, I'm not sure if you know this. After Nipsey Hussle was killed, French Montana said he scrapped plans to buy his old block. He said it's just not worth it. He's trying to go back and do things. Go ahead.
As he should, Star. As he should, man. I'm not rich. I'm not nothing. But where I used to live, what do you go back for, man? And then to be savagely beat on by these dudes. I mean, it's nothing that serious unless he put his hands on someone's mother, he slapped someone's kid. I mean, what is it, over a woman? What it can be that serious that a man who came back to what? It's probably what I don't go to Atlanta. I don't want to go to Atlanta. It's probably 85% black. That you beat up on this stand for what? and Cam, if you ever get out of it, don't do nothing for them. Maybe there'll be a Ecuadorian or Salvador football team that they can join in the future. But get out of there, Cam. Much respect to you. And for the previous caller, as I'm not going out.
Let's not go there, but thank you for your call. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to take shots at other callers. Question, guys. Question. I think a year or so ago, Cam Newton had another younger person. Was that also at his tournament? Where's my notes? A young person was like, trying to clown him. Was that also at the 7-on-7 football tournament? That's his thing. How did he become the joke in the eyes of these young black males? 6'5", 245 pounds. He's got about 7 or 8 kids. He just had a baby with the female comedian. I forget her name. She does a lot of content on YouTube. He just had a baby. Could have swore a year ago somebody else was trying to clown him. They were talking spicy to him on his sidelines. Sheesh. 973, sit tight, AC in the queue. Gem Star says, Star, you putting too much sauce on it. Cam was dragging and lifting them little niggas in the air like Thanos. And his church hat didn't even fall off. Okay. Now, I don't do hypotheticals, but what would have happened if he would have got shot? I mean, that's how they do people down there. That's not just me saying it. They're building Cop City in South Atlanta, $90 million facility. Thank you for your donation, Gemstar. Ranger, I got your donation. Okay, thank you. He's just hating off the rip, okay? Guys, sit tight a second. I want to mention something else here about the Bob Marley film, One Love. I enjoyed it. Is there a Jamaican that wants to call in and really just give some insight from a younger perspective, what the legacy of not just Bob Marley, but the Wailers means, in today's day and time? Again, close to 80 million albums, cassettes, and CDs sold. You know how he died. We don't have to go through all the details. You can watch a documentary for that. Has anybody ever heard of Shashamane in the live chat, guys? Shashamane. It's a city in southern Ethiopia. Now, back in 2005, there was pushback and backlash because Rita Marley was going to exhume Bob Marley's body in Jamaica and move it to Ethiopia. Now, they're all denying that this was the plan now because there was such an uproar from Jamaicans that they said, oh, no, there's no proof that Bob ever wanted to be buried in Ethiopia. They didn't want his body to lay there. Well, I would love for a Jamaican who knows history to call in or chime in, what have you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it 1966? I think it was 1966. Haile Selassie went to Jamaica, or one of those, 66 or 65, and he encouraged Jamaicans to move to Ethiopia, to Shashamane. They have a Bob Marley Plaza there and that beautiful statue. So if you ask me, that's where Bob Marley wanted to be buried because he was Rastafarian and Haile Selassie, Anybody want to chime in? Yes, the Emperor. Yes. Bob Marley was baptized in Shashamane months before he died. Okay. Chime in if you like. All right, folks, hang on a second. I don't want to block anybody's call, but please, if you call in once, I don't want to talk to you 5 and 6 times. Come on, let's stay on topic here. Blade, I got your other donation. Thank you so much. Flamethrower, I see you. He says, you're right, Star. Cam got lucky. I didn't realize how serious the situation was until I heard a country nigga in the video saying, I got something for you. Yes, the extended video, in case you have not seen it, there's 2 people that swung on him. I don't believe in luck, but he's lucky. They play by a different set of rules down there. Everybody's got guns. And again, I'm not trying to clown Cam, but I don't know what what this was over. Was it really about him just talking spicy to somebody? Is Cam doing too much? Is he smashing girls in Atlanta? I don't know. Okay, hang on a second. Someone said Cam was not protected. That's my only... My first thought, hold on a second, is left-handed tapping. He says, peace, I'm going to drop it. Okay. Left-handed, okay, he wants to tap in. Florida Boy Jay, anybody else who wants to talk about this 7-on-7 league? I don't know the details of it, but please call in if you like, right? Also, let me get some of my sponsors on the screen here. Hudson Tubbs, www.hudsontubs.com. Maurice, do you want to tap in, sir? Do you want to chime in? Got your new banner coming up, okay? And Arlington, I got your donation as well. Hang on a second. He says Cam has always done for his community, yada. Yeah, is he from Georgia? Where is Cam Newton from originally? I don't know. I don't know. But correct me if I'm wrong. This is the second time that a young person has just disrespected him from that particular tournament. Let me look in the live chat. I want to see what people are saying. Carcino for life. I see you, sir. Do you want to tap in? He says Stephen A. and others make it easy when they bash him on the show. Right. Makes these kids who watch TV feel like they don't have to respect him. That's a great angle, Carcino. That's a great angle. I don't know when, but Cam Newton started receiving a lot of criticism after the Panthers lost the Super Bowl, and he didn't dive for the ball, so he's become food in a sense. Okay. Hang on a second. There's the call I'm waiting on. Hang on. White boy Rory, good to hear from you, man. What's cracking Sunday night, Rory?
Yo, Star, what's good? What's going on?
We spoke briefly earlier. Let's stay focused here. Let's stay focused. Did you see the video, Cam Newton?
Yeah, I see the video. I see them little savages jumping the coach, man. I mean, what else? How other picture are you going to paint it? That was the coach. Everybody always talks about, you see YouTubers, everybody talking about, everybody in the minority community talking about, what are you doing for the youth? What are you doing for the youth?
Right.
And here you have these little savages. Yeah, right. And here you have these little savages jumping the coach. The coach is breaking up a fight. And they acted like he was an op getting in the middle, breaking up a fight. He's not another teenager. He's not another young adult or an op jumping in, or somebody from the other side jumping in a fight. And that's the coach. The coach is...
I think he's more than the coach. I mean, again, I don't know. I don't keep up with his tournament, but this is his a league of sorts. This is his tournament. His tournament.
Wait. The coach is like the dad. The coach is like the dad for the team. The coach is like the father for the team. And you start punching the father in the face for breaking up a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's all bogus when they say, what are you doing for the youth? What's everybody? Nobody care about the youth. If that's your youth, that's your kid, then you take care of them. I don't give a shit about the youth. They come in the store acting disrespectful, they're standing too close to you and shit. The youth get punched in the face or something worse. Nobody has no respect for the youth. Like, the youth don't have any respect for anybody. That's the father. That's the dad of the football team.
Let me ask you a question. To be objective, we just saw Travis Kelce go in at the Super Bowl, right, on Coach Andy Reid, got up in his face, pushed him. Maybe it's not a black thing. Maybe it's just, the youth bucking up. I mean, Travis Kelce's not that young, but maybe it's just the law of the land now, that there's no authority. No one cares. We're all equal. What do you think about that?
No, so what are we equating it to, Star? Are we equating... That wasn't right, that Kelce got into the coach's face, right? But are we equating somebody yelling or getting into the coach's face as opposed to punching the shit out of the coach and going for a
You got to watch the language, Rory. I spoke to you earlier. Watch the language.
Okay, so 3 or 4 guys jumping on the coach, one going for a single leg takedown, two other ones punching the coach in the face. That's not the same as somebody yelling at the coach or getting in the coach's face. And those are 2 adults, by the way. Those are 2 adults. So there's no equation.
Right.
You know, the youth has no respect whatsoever. No respect whatsoever, especially in 2024. They got messed up. They didn't go to school for like a year with COVID. Then when they came back to school, the schools are all messed up. This whole country is upside down. Like everything is backwards. You know, everything is upside down. So nobody should care about the youth. Like that's like an old phrase from the 80s. What about the youth?
Yeah.
You know, there's community centers everywhere. There's community centers everywhere. Every single project building in New York City has community centers for the youth to go to. They don't go to that. They stay on the bench, you know, slinging drugs and shooting since I was born. And I'm born in 77. Since I was born, ain't nothing's changed. So who cares about the youth? You know, okay. I wouldn't care about them for. Come on, they turn around and shoot you. They turn around and beat you up. Give an F about the youth, man. That's your kid. I don't care. You take your kid to the football game. You break up the fight for your kid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're a bunch of savages, man.
All right, so I don't know if Cam has released a statement yet, but the story is just now picking up a lot of traction. Did you see also, just if we can shift gears for a second, you and I, again, we spoke earlier. Did you see the new Bob Marley film or not yet? It's called One Love. Yeah,
the Bob Marley film. Yo, Bob Marley is a world icon, and he's returning his grave for the last since.
But did you see the movie? That was my question. Did you see the movie?
I didn't see the movie. I've seen documentaries on him. And I think that Jamaica is a bad representation of Bob Marley. Nobody I know ever went to Kingston and said, "Oh, we hung out in the downtown of Jamaica in Kingston, and we had a great time. And we went to this neighborhood, and it was vibing in Kingston." Nobody ever said that. That place is a hellhole. It's a hellhole. You can't leave the resort. Imagine going to a country where you can't mingle amongst the people and go see their capital, the capital of their country, and hang out. You can't see none of that. Nah, Jamaicans is bumbleclots, man. They're a lower class of people. They're a disgrace to Bob Marley. The country is a disgrace to Bob Marley. You know, lately, people from New York City, I think there's something going on where they have a deal of this last week or so. I know 4 or 5 couples that went to Jamaica for the winter break. And none of them have come back and said that they mingled amongst the people. Not one of them. They all stayed on the resort, stayed on their little place, and was served hand and foot by a bunch of Jamaicans. But they wouldn't be caught dead, and they were told specifically, do not leave the resort and mingle amongst the regular Jamaicans, because the regular Jamaicans are savages, and they will goddamn...
Oh, okay, easy. So now...
Worth $100.
Any plans to see the movie? I really want people to call in if they have seen it or if they're interested. I recommend it. Any plans to see this film, Rory?
But I got as much plans to see that film as I have to go visit the island of Jamaica. None whatsoever. I know the story of Bob Marley. I enjoy his music.
Okay.
But, you know, come on, man. Ain't nobody going to Jamaica. If I'm going to Jamaica, I'm going to Jamaica, Queens. That's where I'm going. I go to Jamaica, Queens. I got the train, catch the E train over to Jamaica, Queens, buy some coke or some shit off the Jamaicans. But other than that, no. A million other places I'd rather go than the island of Jamaica.
Okay.
Fuck out of here.
All right, Rory, good to talk to you, man. Good to talk.
All right, Slow.
All right, Slow. Okay. White boy Rory tapping in. Crime skills, are you out there, sir? Anybody want to talk about this film? Again, I enjoyed it. Is it a classic? You know, that I don't know. To a younger person, they may see this differently. And again, they don't have to know the history. They don't have to know all the little details about how I don't know how there was different fathers and the tension and so on and so forth. That's not what this film is about. It's a love story, and his life, how he came up, how he made his impact, and how he and Rita always had that union. And Rita had a little action on the side. Anybody catch that who saw the movie? And he acknowledged that when they were having a little argument. He acknowledged that she had a male friend back home. You know, she was smashing. They had been together since they were so young, to the point where it probably became like a brother and sister union, but, you know, it stayed classy. Something else I want to put on the table, guys. I was reading this with regards to Shashamane, a city in southern Ethiopia. Anybody been to Shashamane? Have you seen the Bob Marley statue in Bob Marley Plaza? Haile Selassie formed the first Ethiopian World Federation in Harlem, New York, and prepared a series of events to bond with African Americans for the Ethiopian culture before announcing the land grants. So there was a lot of things that attracted Bob Marley and Rita to have his body buried in Shashamane. Now, again, he's buried in Jamaica, but if you do your research, I'm sure many of you have, back in 2005, there was a lot of dust kicking up because Rita was trying to take his body from Jamaica over to Shashamane. Just want to say that for those who know, right? So the area code 340. Good evening. Are you up to speed? Hands will put on Cam Newton.
Hey, good evening. What's up? What's up, Star 1051 checking in.
Hey, how are you, man? What's cracking? What's cracking?
All right, man. I was really just, I mean, as far as Cam Newton, man, I got the same sentiment everybody else had, man. It didn't look that serious.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't look that serious. He just backed them up. You know, they jumped on him. He backed them off, you know.
Right.
It was disrespectful and everything, but, you know, that's regular nigga stuff. You know?
Let's go. Come on.
Right. Yeah, nothing, you know, this kind of stuff happens all over the place, you know what I mean? It's getting worse.
I think I'm going to switch my title and just focus on the Bob Marley film if nobody really cares about Cam. But go ahead. You were saying what, sir? Go ahead.
Yeah, with the Bob Marley film, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was the trailer the trailer had me like 2 weeks not watching the movie because I'm like, man, I don't want to go see a goofy Bob Marley movie. But
Right.
I think it was the actor. The actor is what turned me off. But when I went and watched the film, it was a really nice film, man. It was really good.
So you did.
And
you did see the film.
Yeah, man. I just said, let me go and watch it, man.
Right.
Yeah, let me go and watch it. The lady that played Rita Marley was beautiful, and she acted so well. I like how they set the movie up. You know, I'm kind of mad Peter Tosh wasn't. They didn't give Peter Tosh his piece in it. You know. Because that was a big part of the whole, you know, the whole melee between the band and everything. But
yeah,
it's fine. The movie wasn't about that. You know, it's about him and Rita.
Right.
Him and Rita, and they kept focus on, you know, that he really believed his mission was the music. You know, to the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I respect that. I liked it. I liked the movie. It was all right.
Can I just interject here for a second? Lashana Lynch, that's who played Rita Marley. Great acting.
Yes,
she was probably the best actor in the film. But the young man, Kingsley Ben Adir, I agree with you. The trailer made it look kind of corny, but he did a good job. He auditioned for this role. They didn't just give it to him. He auditioned, and I watched 2 interviews late last night with him talking about the process, and they were more so concerned about his possible emotional attachment to the film, because again, this was a story from the position of Ziggy and Rita. So all the other stuff, like you just mentioned, Peter Tosh, that wasn't the focus. Go ahead.
Right, right, right. True. I mean, he didn't do that bad, man. He I think he's from from
He's
London or
British.
something like that.
He's British.
Yeah, he's British. Yeah, he's British. So he didn't do that bad. There was a couple cheesy parts, like like when they tried to give you a backstory to how a song came about in the studio. That was kind of cheesy, some of it.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. I enjoyed it, man. And as far as the Shashamani thing, we all know we all know before Bob Marley's death, he converted to Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, right?
Yes.
So
he was baptized months before he died in Shashamane.
Yes, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So whatever his wishes were, Rita is the one, and Rita and the kids are the best to know it. Nobody can say that no, he didn't want to. Bob Marley was really focused on the afterlife. He was focused on his religion, and I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted, man. The prince before Selassie was coronated, he sent that ring for Bob before he was coronated as the King of Kings.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his history and his ties there, and Rita wants to send him off, give him a proper farewell. I agree with it. I don't mind.
You sound like a knowledgeable man. Can I just ask you a question? Don't follow my lead. I'm just thinking out loud. In the song Exodus, monumental song, that's the one that the whole album catapulted him into stardom. Pow! That's when the Yankees, African Americans, then became aware of Bob Marley. They weren't playing Bob Marley and the Wailers on black radio stations in the States prior to Exodus. That's a fact. Maybe on a little specialty mix shows, but not in rotation. In the song Exodus, is he referring to Jamaica as Babylon?
That's a good question, man. I highly doubt it. Babylon is more the West in a whole. Babylon will be
Western ideology.
A whole.
Western ideology as
well.
Yes,
Western ideology. The whole anyone involved in the what you call it, the slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
That whole vibe. The whole diaspora people going becoming slaves, and that was his focus. That they looked at the Bible and tried to translate it in modern terms as black people being like Jews, and that whole vibe. So when they say Exodus, is coming from like a Mosaic standpoint, like the West
movement for Jah people. And if you ask me,
movement of Jah people, right?
I could be wrong. I'm stupid. I think he was referring to Jamaica in a sense. We're leaving Babylon because he left Jamaica, as you know, after they shot him in 1976. He went back to do a concert, but they broke his heart. Everything he was trying to do for them, and it was white people that embraced him worldwide. But go ahead, finish up. I appreciate your call.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. And I think just that whole vibe, from Jamaica to America to Europe, just the whole, black people backbiting black people, it's just it's like we took that on from our enslaved, our captors. We took that vibe from them, and we continue treating each other that way. And so I think all of that in the whole is Babylon, the system, the effects of the system. That's all Babylon. So Jamaica, the whole West. The whole Western ideology, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I appreciate your call, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Rastafari. Oh my goodness. Was Bob Marley referring to Jamaica as Babylon in the song Exodus? Anybody know the lyrics? Do you really know the lyrics? He was a reader too, Bob Marley, and a very intense reader, and that was the rub with one of the rubs with he and Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh was the musician, but as they started to evolve, it's Bob Marley who was just putting it together, lyrically and spiritually, in a sense, if you will. I like Peter Tosh, but he He became a hater. Sir Shy got your donation. He says, Cam tossed those niggers like rag dolls. ATL up. Okay. Thank you, Sir Shy. Thank you. Killer, are you out there? Where's my alleged daughter? Killer, did you see the Wendy Williams documentary this weekend? Who was that sent me a picture of Wendy's feet? Good God. Good God Almighty. Good God Almighty. Davis, I got your donation. Thank you, sir. You tapping in area code 267. Good evening. Thank you for your support. You sent in the number of the beast, $6.66. Yes?
Yes, sir. What's up, big nigga?
How are you, man? What's cracking?
Ain't shit. Just want to talk about Cam Newton.
Please, please, please.
Yeah, he make himself too accessible. I'm glad you said something earlier about that time he got into it, you know, the dude on the sideline. And that's why he keep getting into things. Because if it was Brady, that wouldn't happen. Eli Manning, that wouldn't happen.
Absolutely.
But also, if it was Lamar Jackson, that wouldn't happen.
Speak on it.
It's not a black thing. It's a Cam Newton thing. That's why he's not in the NFL. He go back and forth all the time, act like a teenager. And that he always, you know, it's his mentality. It's his, you know, anybody else would have just, man, get out of my face. Cam Newton will go back and forth with you just like a kid.
Yeah, yeah, he was the truth when he played. Great stats, you know. He's ringless, so yeah, so we take shots at him, but it bothers me that, as you just said, he was so accessible. I don't like that. No matter if he stood on business, and I didn't like the fact that they could get at him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because you keep doing 7-on-7s with just random niggas that could just walk up. Go to a high school. Go to a college. Why you keep doing 7-on-7s with just niggas? What you think gonna happen?
Can you educate me? What is this 7-on-7? I don't know. What is that?
I don't know. He's the only person that does this. Like I have no idea. You just put together anybody that want to have a 7-on-7, and that's the problem. If anybody's walking, don't nobody know what's going on. You need to be at your old high school. You need to be at Auburn putting on. You are a legend. You were the man. Even though you were my enemy by nature, because I'm a Falcons fan.
Okay.
I never really, you know, cared for Cam Newton. But, you know, I respect greatness no matter where you at. And he was a great quarterback, but his personality was always too much. If it ain't the hair, and it's not race. It has nothing to do with your race. It's how you carry yourself. Your demeanor is a little bit too much. Too noisy. You're too noisy. You are at the most important position. You're the quarterback. You're supposed to show the most class on the whole team. You're the leader.
So now,
and that's his problem.
So and I don't know. Is the 7-on-7 tournament similar to like the N1 league in a sense? Do you remember the N1 basketball league and all the fly jiggy shit? And
It's just like that. It's mainly a lot of ex-athletes that got in trouble on the street and couldn't go to the league. So that's where they go. So you with the troublemakers for real.
Yeah.
That's 7-on-7. That's the troublemakers.
Wow.
They can't even go to the other leagues. They got to just, you know, 7-on-7. Because if not the NFL, you can go to XFL, USFL. A lot of places you can go and play. But, you know, the troublemakers, shit like that. And that's what happens. So you stay there.
Are you from the Atlanta metro area? Have you ever been to Georgia?
I've been to Georgia. I'm from Philly. Squad 267 number. I've been to Georgia. I've been there, but, you know, I went there to work out. I was there for like a week with my bro. I went there to work out. I'm in the gym, and I'm like, oh, no, this ain't for me. Niggas is looking at me like a piece of meat, like I'm a female. I'm like, and they look like me. You know, black tatted. They look just like me. And it's just like, oh, Atlanta wild place, man. But I'm a Falcons fan because of Vic. That's why I'm a Falcons fan.
Okay.
Michael Vick. I stayed there. When he left, I stayed with the team, and I'm just going to ride it out. But I really was going live today. I mean, came to see you today because I thought she was going to kick in Fannie back in. For text messages that got exposed.
Who?
Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis. And text messages.
Fonnie, sir. Fonnie. She says her name is Fonnie.
No. I understand. I know you said that's how you supposed to say it. I know you said that's how you supposed to say it. She get that Fannie work. You know, she don't get my respect either.
Well, sir, Fonnie stood on business, so we have to keep it all the way G. But more than likely tomorrow, I will readdress that. You're talking about the new information that has come out by way of the cell towers that show her and Nathan Wade were actually communicating, and he was in her neighborhood prior to the dates that they say they started dating. Yes.
Yeah. Did you hear her explanation for it?
Let's do that conversation tomorrow. Tonight, I want to stay focused
right,
on the Bob Marley film or Cam Newton, but I appreciate your call, man. Thank you.
All right, big nigga.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll get back to Fonnie tomorrow. Oh, she's still on business. Yes, she did. Trackmastersdj.com, folks. The hottest DJ in the 305. DJ Prophecy. Tell him I sent you. Reach out to him. It's right there. Trackmastersdj.com. He does weddings. I think he even does funerals, bar mitzvahs, cotillions. He DJs for those fly ass yacht parties that they have down there with the DJ Khaled and all those guys. Reach out to DJ Prophecy. Tell him I sent you. Okay. Burr got your donation. Star. This for when you sneak off on us to South Carolina. Well, I'm moving to North Carolina. I'm not hiding where I'm going. I'm going to Emerald Isle, but I am looking to purchase possibly a couple of condos in Myrtle Beach. Did you hear me speak about that, sir? They are cleaning Myrtle Beach up. Thank you for your donation, Burr. Okay. Oh, Blade wants his credit. Yo, I sent you those Panda Chop videos. I've been trying to verify the text messages between Ray and Clayface. Thank you, Blade. Thank you, Blade. I actually spoke to Panda Chop briefly. So I asked him to send me the link to his video that you sent me, Blade. You sent it to me, okay? I'll give you a credit. Area code 216. Good evening. Are you there? 216.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, big nigga. Good evening.
How are you? Sir?
What's going on? I'm good, man. I don't really too much. I ain't seen the Marley movie yet, but okay. I wanted to holler about the Cam Newton.
Please.
Cam Newton joint.
Go ahead.
Well, start that last caller who called in. He the Atlanta Falcons fan. He ain't got a damn clue. 7-on-7 ain't about no NFL players that couldn't make the league. It's skill position drills.
Okay.
So yeah, you out there just throwing the ball, doing drills, running routes, quarterback, receivers, running backs. That's what it is. And a lot of football players, they do 7-on-7 camps.
Okay.
In their cities, you know what I'm saying, for the kids and all of that. And a lot of time, most times, it's already kind of like a set roster. It's kind of like an invite thing. So, but they would allow the general public to come check them out. You know what I'm saying? It's just something to give back to the community for the kids. Some of the kids that play sports, local sports in the neighborhood and all of that.
Okay.
So that's what it's 7-on-7.
Well, I thank you for calling in and educating me because, you see, I like to let people speak. You know, I mean, if he didn't know, then he didn't know. But, I mean, I don't claim to know. Yeah. I just don't like the fact. I don't like the fact that Cam Newton was down there in the ATL thinking shit was sweet.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? He held it down though. He was dragging the one nigga and he had the other nigga in the head. Like,
right.
The nigga's about 6'6", 250.
Yeah,
I said, man, these
niggas
over here with hoodies pulled over their face. Look, man, I said, man, little skinny jean wearing niggas. Man, I said, come on, man. But you know what? I like Cam. You know, he do some goofy stuff a lot of times. I know he wear the Dudley Do-Right hats and shit, you know, from the
yeah.
I'm sorry, my name's the Rocky and Bullwinkle Dudley Do-Right hat.
Yeah.
But he get a lot of hate, it seems. It seems like he get a lot of hate. And I think that why people steady pick at him because he don't really back down from it. He engaged in it.
Right.
You can't fight every battle. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight every battle. But, I mean, like you said, he was a beast on the field. He didn't win one, of course. But, you know, I said it's a lot of great QBs that ain't win one. You know what I'm saying? So I think a big part of it, when he didn't jump on that ball in the end zone, that knocked him down a lot. You know what I'm saying? That took, it was kind of cowardice, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I mean, he came in rookie season setting records. I mean, in my opinion, you gotta love a nigga like Cam's story. I mean, he went to the little small school blend. Nigga got caught stealing computers and all of that. Nigga bounced back. You know what I'm saying? Bounced back, winning one the Heisman, winning one the championship.
So he's a thief like Jameis What's the guy's name who stole the crab legs?
James Winston. Yeah, crab legs stealing niggas. James Winston, them country niggas. Yeah. They're stealing ass country niggas. Yeah, man.
Folks, I saw the video. This is not alleged. The nigga went into the supermarket, got the king crab legs, and walked the fuck out and didn't pay for his shit.
Yeah.
That nigga's a thief.
Them country mile niggas, man. But you know what? You gotta love the comeback story. You know what I'm saying? And then he went on. Unlike James Winston, Cam went on to have a I'm gonna say borderline Hall of Fame career, because I don't think he's gonna get in there. You know what I'm saying? But he was borderline, he borderline, won some MVP, you know what I'm saying, won an MVP and all of that. So, but James Winston, he ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? But
you sound like a knowledgeable man, sir. Let me just throw something at you before you go. You sound like a knowledgeable man. Who was better, Cam Newton or Warren Moon?
Oh, I like Warren. I like Cam, man, but Warren was slaying that rock, man. You talking about run and shoot offense, man. Run and shoot. And Warren did it in 2 leagues. Remember, he did it.
I was about to say, didn't he win a ring up in this CFL?
He was in the USFL or something like that. One of them leagues. It was either USFL or a CFL.
Hang on,
and then he came over to the NFL and did his thing too. He still did his thing. Although I will say this, they 2 different type of quarterbacks, because Cam Newton, I would compare Cam more to like a Randall Cunningham because of the scrambling and the running ability. But Warren Moon was slaying that rock, man.
Sir, hold on a second. Stop right there. Warren Moon played 6 seasons for the Edmonton Eskimos of the CFL, winning 5 Grey Cups, that league's equivalent of a Super Bowl.
The truth. The one, listen.
5 Grey Cups, sir, in 6 seasons. Warren Moon, go ahead.
He was the truth. He was the truth. And you know what? Nobody ever talk about him, man. He get out there with that damn George.
My old ass is talking about him, sir. My old ass is talking about Warren.
I had the Warren Moon poster. I had the Warren Moon poster in my room, man.
Damn.
He's slanging that rock to Givens them. You know what I mean?
Right.
He get out there with that George Jefferson haircut, man. Be slanging that rock and that run and shoot offense. So yeah, I'm gonna say Warren Moon, man, because he did it like you say. He won the five cup, and then he came over to the NFL, where people thought his game wouldn't transition.
Yeah.
And he did it. You know what I mean?
Can I read something else? Can I read something else? And I'll give you the last word.
Go ahead.
In 1984, the Houston Oilers signed the 27-year-old Warren Moon, and he proved the stereotypes wrong, making 9 Pro Bowls, including 8 straight between 1988 and 1995. You have the last word, so go ahead.
Facts. No, that's facts. And I'm going to tell you, I was so hurt when he lost to that white boy Frank Wright, man. When Houston was up like 30 to 33 to nothing, and they let that white boy number 14 Frank Wright come back, and his ass is forever kind of like legendary, you know, in Buffalo's eyes, because he came back and he beat Warren on them. He had me sick. That's why they bum asses when they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. So it was all good. Yeah, we got our lick back.
I appreciate
we got our lick back, but good talking to you, big nigga.
Yes, sir. Salute. Thank you so much for calling.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Hold on a second. See now. Oh man. You see, I had to check because I wasn't sure if Earl Campbell played with Warren Moon. Okay. Earl Campbell, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, running backs, in my opinion. He was traded to the Saints 6 games into the 1984 season. Damn. He just used to run over niggas. Okay, Panda Chop News, I got your email. Thank you. All right, Panda Chop News. Let me see if I can put this link. Okay, I'm going to bookmark this. Ray Dog. Ray, if that's really you, my nigga, Ray, text me. Never mind all that crazy stuff I said about you, my nigga. You're back. If that's really you, I'm looking at Panda Chop. What is his this is his other channel? Panda Chop Chronicles. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Benzino goes off on Whack 100. Guys, sit tight on the phones. Sit tight. I gotta post this in the live chat. I'm trying not to promote beef and or drama, but my nigga Ray Dog is back. Beantown, stand up. Beantown, stand. Let me see if can I pin this to the top. Hold on. Replace pinned message. Okay, guys, top of my live chat is the link to Panda Chop's YouTube channel. Where my nigga Ray Dog, aka Benzino, was telling Whack 100 I was at No Jumper for 4 hours, calling them all sorts of bitches. Where were you? And then of course Clayface said, "Where you at now?" And then Ray Dog said, "Atlanta. What's up, pussy?" That's what I'm talking about. Area code 312. Good evening. Cam Newton fight or the Bob Marley film One Love? Are you up to speed? 312.
Yes. I am definitely up to speed, man. How you doing, my brother?
I'm great, sir, but please don't call me brother. That offends me. Please don't do that.
Yeah. My bad. But I saw the film, and I definitely saw the Cam Newton situation. I'm gonna be honest. I liked the Bob Marley film.
Okay.
I just felt like it could have been longer. I think that we was old, at least 2 hours and 20 minutes. But now hearing from you saying that it was a love story,
yeah,
I totally agree with you on that. I just feel like, from Straight Outta Compton and a few other dope films that we have had, it should have been a little bit juicier, especially with that being one of Jamaica's first, type of biopic type film. Overall, like honestly, I give it a 6.5. I just felt like it needed more sauce. But after listening to the main, I'll be honest,
Come on.
Now, was it horrible? No, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't whack. I just felt like it should have gave us more juice. And the main star, I was listening to the actor that played him.
Sir, can you fix your T-Mobile connection? Your phone's going in and out.
They shot
fix your phone.
At least 4 hours.
Say again?
Okay, you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
You already know I got T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Now I was listening to the Stars remarks about how they shot at least 4 hours of footage, and he even seemed on the Breakfast Club kind of disappointed because he, obviously he ain't got no control over the cutting and the editing, but he even felt like it should have been more to it. It just felt like
you're talking about Kingsley Ben-Adir, yes?
I love
Kingsley Ben-Adir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I ask how old are you, sir? How old are you?
Playing him.
Sir, how old are you?
I just turned 40. I just turned 40.
Okay. With all due respect, sir.
And I'm a fan.
Okay. With all due respect, you're too old to be listening to the Breakfast Club. That's part of the problem. Please.
Well, I don't.
You're a black man, so you should be listening to Bloomberg Radio 1010.
No. Well, I actually don't. I don't look at it, but I don't know what made.
You just admitted it, sir. You just.
And
okay. You just said so.
Well, it was only 10 minutes of it. It was maybe 10 minutes, and I wanted to see. I really wanted to see what I was missing. I wanted to see did I miss anything like so. And I saw him because I actually saw the interview that the Sun just did with Drink Champs.
Ziggy,
you know
sir.
what I mean? So
Ziggy.
So, but it
So was it Ziggy or what was it? Rohan? Who was on Drink Champs?
It wasn't Ziggy. It was the one that's not his mother is not. It's the other mother.
Well, but Bob Marley had a lot of sons, and I don't know which one, but I'll Google whilst you're talking. Go ahead.
I think about 12 kids, right? Like 12 kids or something like that. Right? But overall, I think the movie was good. I just felt like that being Jamaica's, and that should have been to me, that should have been like our Malcolm X Jamaica type film. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you. They couldn't show.
Are you Jamaican, sir?
But I just.
Are you Jamaican?
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I like Bob. I like him. I used to listen to his music. Man, it's funny because going back to the Breakfast Club, you really got me.
It was Rohan Marley, sir. I'm looking online. Hang on a second. I Googled for you. Rohan Marley was on the Drink Champs 2 days ago.
Go ahead. Right.
Rohan, yeah.
Right. Go, and he did a great interview with Drink Champs, but it just seemed like they didn't even really talk about the albums. It just seemed like they really just talked about that one album, and I just felt like people that want, and I get it, they got documentaries and all that, but let's keep it real. People don't watch documentaries like that. I just felt like they should have been more in detail. I got a friend that's Jamaican, and he was a little disappointed how they really didn't get to talk about how he used to go back and forth to America. They just made it seem like he just went overseas to what was that, Paris, and that was it. And then he went back to Jamaica, and that was it.
Well, sir, with all due respect, I'm going to give you the last word. Sir, with all due respect, Black people in America did not support Bob Marley and the Wailers. That's cap. Don't act like you did. If you were Jamaican, then your grandparents or your parents were playing their music in the homes. It was not programmed on radio nor television, sir. So America doesn't really have a lot to do with the success of the Wailers and Bob Marley, to be precise. Go ahead.
That's why they made sure they highlighted the other country. Right. Yeah. Right. I get it now. Yeah. Now, Cam Newton deserved everything he got. He deserved every single thing. I'm like the other callers, man. Sit your butt down somewhere. Okay. He talked too much. To me, he has feminine energy. To me, it don't matter how many kids he got. He makes this up. He do too much, which a lot of kids around his age do now. It feels like he's trying to prove something. You know what I mean? Do you a millionaire with 8, 9 kids? You just got a new baby.
Okay.
Sit your butt down somewhere. I saw the new interview with him and what's his name was kind of getting into an argument. To me, he just he's suspect to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And now I'm hearing that he's trying to come back to the NFL. I don't think so, especially after that.
Yeah,
after what just happened a couple hours ago.
Yeah. Can I ask your favorite Bob Marley and the Wailers? Favorite Bob Marley and the Wailers album before you go, sir? What's your favorite album? By the way?
I would say Exodus. Exodus is one of my favorite. Is my favorite album.
Okay.
And not to be funny, but obviously I love the greatest hits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, Exodus is my favorite song and album.
Okay. I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
I love Exodus, the album, but Catch a Fire. That's the one I still play till this day. Melanie, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, young lady. Do you want to call in? Okay, you sent me an IG DM. I don't check IG DMs. I don't. My one of my daughters does, and she's gonna tell you to email me. Do I know you from the past? Why are you sending me IG DMs? I say all the time, send me an email. Are you trying to trick me? You're trying to catfish me? I don't want to DM with you, young lady. Send an email. I appreciate your donation, okay? Terrence, I got your donation. Best way to stay alive, stay away from poor blacks. That's a whole fact. Sir Shai, got your donation. Bob Marley movie should have had more Wailer and Tosh. I disagree. It wasn't about the tension between them, you know, in the early days. No, it was about his monumental journey. Catch a Fire. Most of the songs written by Bob Marley. Maybe 2 or 3 written by Peter, co-written by Peter Tosh. I forget. It's been a lot of years. So much more to offer. And how tragic was it how Peter Tosh was killed? But thank you for your donation. The commissioner, thank you for tapping. He says the Marley movie wasn't made for blacks. Oh. Whoa. Might you want to call in and explain that one? How about this? So let me ask you this. Was Bob Marley really a white man with a tan? How about that question? Area code 504. Good evening. Talking about the Bob Marley movie and Cam Newton, if you like. 504.
Hi, Star.
Hey, who's this?
So this is Felice.
Hey, girl, how are you?
I am blessed. I'm your big sister. I'm 1 year older than you.
I don't have any sisters, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I took a chance and called in. I watch the show a lot. Big ups to you.
Thank you.
I'm an FBA from New Orleans.
Okay.
And I spend most of my time in Jamaica.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I went to Jamaica because I couldn't handle the oppression in New Orleans anymore. And it was either me leave New Orleans or wind up going in jail because I just couldn't handle the racism and the oppression that a lot of black people have to deal with there.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm calling the time in because I did see the Bob Marley movie here in Montego Bay.
Oh, are you there now? You're in Jamaica now?
Right now as we speak. Yes,
okay.
I am.
Tell us about what you thought about the film, please.
Well, the experience was surreal because being in Jamaica and watching it, it was like being at a Bob Marley concert. If I was allowed to attend because my parents were strict, I couldn't go. But everyone sang, the vibe was unification. I appreciated how the movie, I like the perspective it was done from the angle of, like you said, when Bob Marley had the concert where he brought Manley and Sega together. And all of it, what I loved was that it wasn't a kitschy version of what somebody thought Bob Marley was like, because he wasn't as verbal in the movie as they could have made him to be if it was like a hyped up Hollywood deal.
Right.
But I liked how it was presented it was palatable, it was fast moving, it made you feel good. They played, I mean, you can't go wrong with a Bob Marley song. And they highlighted his experience, in my judgment, because I do some film and things like that.
Okay.
But they highlighted his experience in a very artistic way. And so I felt like it was a really good movie. For me, it was a great experience. And
so you said you're a year or two older than me, yes? So you should know some of the more details about his promiscuous lifestyle, but that was a lot of men during that time, yes? Can't hold that against
Well,
you.
I mean, I graduated high school in 1981, which was the year Bob Marley passed.
Right.
And I discovered Bob
seasoned coochie
77 because my brother listened to him, and we'd be playing in the yard, in the backyard, volleyball or whatever, and he would have Bob Marley blasting.
Okay.
And I could remember, I was like, who is this person? Because I was always, New Orleanians have this inherent music gene in us too. And the appeal of his music, for me being an 8th grader at the time, was profound. And I had friends who, were able to go out. And like I said, my parents were strict, so I couldn't really go to Bob Marley shows or concerts. And he didn't perform in the U.S., as we all know, as often as we deserved, because he was such a cutting edge, innovative performer.
Well, to be fair, the 70s was also probably the best R&B period for foundational Black Americans. So
you are so correct.
So yes. what Bob Marley and the Wailers were doing was beautiful in essence, beautiful, you know, for Jamaican people, Jamaican culture, coming out of the 60s where they gained independence. But in the 70s, so much was going on here. I don't even want to go down the list of the moments, the highlights of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Stylistics, Blue Magic, and so on and so on. You feel me? But okay, you were saying, go ahead.
So, and then I have had some experience in the music industry. And part of the impetus behind me being here was to help provide unification for all people around the world, especially Black people, with a focus on reparations for foundational Black Americans. So I know people in the industry who've been very successful and that you know. And so I approached Jamaicans, and I've done recordings here. And I've approached Jamaicans, and I got eaten up by a lot of Jamaicans because there is such a disparity with the cultural misunderstanding of who we are and what we do, that it was like, you know, I was insulted. I was told some very mean things by some. And, you know, it's dangerous in terms of immersing yourself in an environment where when music is involved, there is a chance of an untoward outcome. But New Orleans prepped me for that. New Orleans prepped me to be able to live around the world because of everything you got to know how to do to navigate, just like you in New York and other people around certain areas. But my goal was to try to bridge, and I spoke to somebody who you mentioned, a relative of somebody who you mentioned 3 days ago. And
listen, darling, I don't mean to cut you short, but I mean, if I can just cut right to the chase.
Laying the plan.
You saw the film. What would you rate it? The new Bob Marley One Love film. What would you rate it? Out of 10. Out of 10.
I would give it at least an 8. I would just give it and that's just from my own personal perspective. But I know other expats here who watched it and they felt like they didn't like the focus of it. They didn't enjoy it. But, you know, everybody has the right to decide what they like and what they're interested in and what they don't.
Thank you.
So it was positive. Thanks so much.
Thank you for the call, darling.
You.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Take care
now. All right. Okay. Boy, she's a talker, huh? I bet you Shane never sent a dime up in here. Bless her heart. King Simon, I'm live. Are you calling in, King Simon? I'm live. Want me to send you the link?
Oh yeah. Oh, you want me to? I'll say it over the phone, man. I'll do it over the phone.
Okay. Call the number. I'm live right now.
Oh, I thought I was calling the call in. No, let me call it.
Okay. All right. King Simon wants to tap in, huh? Catch a fire. Is it Rom? Got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Rom, respect. Okay, from Akron City. Did I say that right? Akron City. Thank you for your support, sir. Advo, where are you, man? Advo, can you stay on topic? Are you calling in? He says, can I call as a... okay. Yeah, yo. A couple of people sent me a video of my homie, Murder Mook. That was crazy. Is he okay? What did he make bail? Good God almighty. Area code 213. Are you there on a
Wagwan? Wagwan Star. Wagwan.
Advo.
Hey, Star. So I have not watched the movie, but I'm actually excited to watch it now. Thanks to you.
Okay.
Because the Bob Marley State has done very profound work in the United States. In Claremont County Center, they bought a old prison and they turned a California prison into a marijuana grow house. So one of the corders said that he don't do nothing for FBA. I would disagree. Yeah. The message that man, go ahead.
No, good. You have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, the message that man left might not. He might have not enjoyed the fruition of his work, but he left the seed, and his family also did a good work with the little work that he did. They are a $1 billion company. You know, they're like the Wayans family of music. So, and also, I do agree with what you said about like the place for Rastafaris, which myself, I was given the name Ras Kamara at an early age in Flatbush, New York.
Okay.
So, I respect Jamaican culture, but the reason why we call Ras head of Safari, who is the King Salazar, the kings of Ethiopia. So I do agree that his body needs to be moved to Ethiopia. Jamaica did a lot of damage to that.
Now, hang on a second, Avo, because you're jumping all over the place. I didn't say it should be. I said my research going back decades. You know, I remember Emperor Haile Selassie. He went to Jamaica. Was that 1965 or 66? Can you help me out? I forget. And he himself was encouraging Jamaicans to come to Ethiopia. Was that 66? Do you know? You're a young man. You might not know that.
Yes. He actually opened a museum back then that was trying to incorporate and unite the Rastafaris with the Jamaicans, because Jamaicans had made it very popular.
Now, hang on a second. Hang on. I got time. If we can Google, was it 1966 when Haile Selassie went to Jamaica and Bob Marley?
It was April 21st, 1966. Yes, sir. Yeah, okay. You're right.
Okay. So, Shashamane, have you been there? Are you Rastafarian?
I am a Rastafari.
Have you been to Shashamane?
I'm planning to one day go. I'm planning to also go visit the Bob Marley Museum in Jamaica. But I respect Jamaicans and I respect the culture of Rastafaris, because as an Afro-Latino, I never felt so much proud of my blackness when I met being a Rastafari, when I met, growing your hair, loving yourself, just looking at yourself in the mirror and not, unlike those guys that try to jump Cam Newton, which I don't support black quarterbacks. I think black quarterbacks is the worst thing you could ever support. A black quarterback will never lead you into a win. A good example could be Eli Manning. If you need a quarterback, you need a white man to lead you to a championship. You could never put your
Stop! Don't do that.
You got to keep it 1,000 Star. So. Cam Newton, that was very disappointing of the kids. Those are kids.
Say what you just said again. Because people, I don't think they caught that. What'd you say about a black quarterback? What?
A black quarterback will never lead you to a chip, no matter how much you want it. And I'm not. And don't tell me now that Patrick Mahomes, that's a white man right there. Patrick Mahomes is a white man.
Advo.
We have to. Yeah.
Advo, I want you to Google Doug Williams, Washington Redskins. I'll wait for you. Google, please.
Doug Williams. See, now you're coming with some FBA facts.
Super Bowl champion, Washington Redskins. And then I want you to apologize to the foundational Black Americans before you go. Come on, I'll wait for you.
I was in my father's nuts, Star. You can't give. I'm more about like digital footprints. If I wasn't there, it didn't exist.
Did you Google?
No, I'm not going to. You're going to take him to the Negro Leagues. Ain't nobody trying to watch the Negro Leagues. I want to see that shit in my life.
I'd vote if you can't do the research. I'm giving you the time. I gotta let you go, man. You made a statement.
No.
You said a black quarterback can't lead you to the Super Bowl. I said Doug Williams. Can you Google that? If not, I gotta go. Come on. I don't want to argue with you. I gave you the source.
All right.
I gave you the source. Sheesh.
All right, man.
Guys, on the screen, HudsonTubs.com is one of my sponsors. Maurice, I'm going to get you on the line, man, when you find time so we can talk about restoration, reglazing, bathtubs, anything, toilets, unique antiques for homes, for condos, things of that nature. www.HudsonTubs.com. Advo, what do you got, man? I got to run. What do you got? Doug Williams, what year?
All right, so I see the highlights of his top 50 Super Bowl.
What year?
I think the Denver Broncos, he won 42-10.
No. Washington Redskins, he won the Super Bowl. What year? Doug Williams, dark-skinned black man. What year?
Damn, the year is not popping up.
Okay. Can I put you on hold? I'll put you on hold.
Yes, sir.
Okay. He made a statement. I gave him some facts. Oh my goodness. Sir Shy, get you the donation. Okay, Star, you said Ye blew his load. Ye #1 on Billboard. Okay. I don't care what Billboard says. All of those charts can be purchased and sold. I worked in the music industry for well over 13, 14 years at record labels. We used to purchase the cover of BRE, Black Radio Exclusive, The Gavin Report, and all sorts of stuff. I'm not into Kanye West, but thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate the donation. Advo, sit tight. I'm going to bring you back on. Let me go to 347 for a second. Good evening, 347. We have two topics on the table. Are you up to speed? 347.
Yes, I am. It's King Simon, sir.
Hey, man. Peace. What's cracking with you? Good to hear from you.
Everything's good. Everything's good. I did watch that video, man. Cam Newton, boys. Oh, Lord.
Come on.
Oh, young people fighting, man. They just, I don't think he should have got into it. His security should have been there. You know, me coming from security from back in the day, he should not ever have to be doing that. He should not even been part of that. You know that. I know that.
Well, what happened? Why did the fight pop off? Did Cam smash somebody's girl? He does a lot on social media. He does a lot.
Look, I just watched it on Instagram. I didn't see the whole. I just watched a clip of it before I came on it.
Yeah.
So I didn't see. Yeah, but I don't think, like I said, you said security moves slow, and if you're the producer of those type of events, you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't be in the mix of that. Yeah. That's like me producing an event and my security not doing their work. That don't make sense. They shouldn't even do that. And Dave Chappelle talked about that before. His security didn't do it. They was slipping and sliding. They didn't even get to do the work quick. That don't make no sense. But let's get to the Bob Marley now. I had to go see that one.
Oh, did you? You saw it. You saw the film.
Of course. The first day it came out, my father seen it because that was his era when he was living in Jamaica, and he came over here back and forth. Okay. So that was his era. But my cousin used to play the horns for Bob back in the day.
Okay.
And you know that part where Cox and Dodd pulled out the gun. Coxon pulled out the gun on him. Mm-hmm. That studio is where my cousin used to be part of the Scatterlights, and that was the living band that would back most of those guys back in the day. So he passed on. His name was Johnny Dizzy Moore. But I give the movie a good 7 to 8 only because you can't tell the whole story. People keep on saying why Peter wasn't there, Bob. It was a certain era of time, and they was not together at a certain era because Bob wanted to make certain moves outside of it. Don Taylor, I knew personally his manager. Okay. His manager gave me his book, and Don Taylor's story would have been a whole different story of that time because that's the one they call the thief, and that's the one they beat up in the movie. Don Taylor was a good friend of mine.
But hang on, he took how many bullets in that house?
Exactly. Man? Exactly. 5 bullets. in his chest. He showed it. He showed me 2 of them right in his chest.
Was
because
it 5 or 6?
SOBs.
Was it 5 or 6?
It was actually it was actually 6. It was 6. And he was at SOBs with me one time, and we were sitting down. He gave me his book. He helped me to bring Dennis Brown and Gregory Isaac over there. So Don Taylor he did not like Rita Marley at all. Be honest, he really did not like Rita and Chris Blackwell. Believe me, Bunny Will and none of them like Chris Blackwell. They didn't. Bunny Will and Peter Tosh.
King Simon, I want to say this on record.
Yes, sir.
Rita Marley was a good-looking woman in her prime.
Yes, she was.
If I can find a Rita Marley right now in my life, I might be a better man. What a rock for Marley, right?
Yes, she was.
Without Rita, we never would have had Bob Marley. Let's keep it real.
That's
interesting. Never mind Peter Tosh. Without Rita Marley, you never would have had Bob Marley, who was a white man with a tan, in my opinion. Go ahead.
First of all, remember they started as the Wailing Wailers first.
Yeah, we know this.
Then they became the Wailers. Then it became Bob Marley and the Wailers. Remember, Beverly was there before Rita. Beverly started it off with them.
Well,
there was a woman named
King Simon.
I'm just being honest.
It was Rita who introduced Bob to Rastafari. It was Rita. That's a fact.
Oh no! That's absolutely right. You're right. That's right. That's correct history. No, I won't take away her stuff. I can't take it away.
Who he was smashing prior to Rita really meant nothing. But go ahead, so you have the floor. Go ahead.
I wasn't saying he was smashing Beverly. She was a part of the group back in the day. And I want to just say condolences to one of the guys in reggae who used to live in Bushwick. You remember Denroy Morgan? I do. Yes. I do anything. Yes. His son the lead son for the Morgan Heritage just died today. Whoa. And I want to send condolences to that family. And he was a good dude, man. And Morgan Heritage, I knew Denroy Morgan also, because they used to come to SOBs with me too. Yeah. So we lost another great icon in the music today, Peter Morgan, and man, he lived in Bushwick. But Bob movie is a good movie to go see. It went up to #1, I believe, and that was good. And I'm glad that's a good thing for their culture. Jamaica's gonna be filled with a whole lot of people from now on.
What did you say?
All right.
You out of a 10, what do you give it? What did you say?
I gave it we gave it 7 to 8, or 7 to 8. Honestly, I gave it 7 to 8.
I give it a 9
because
I give it a 9. It's a love story.
That's cool.
It's a love story.
Yeah, it is a love story. It is a love story.
One question before you go. You're a very knowledgeable man. You're from my generation. In the song Exodus, was Bob Marley referring to Jamaica as Babylon? Do you know the lyrics?
Yes, I do.
Okay. He says, verse 2, you know where we're going, you know where we're from. We're leaving Babylon.
We're going to the promised land.
We're going to our fatherland.
Right. That's right. But
was he referring? Hang on, King Simon. Was he referring to Jamaica as Babylon? Did he foresee what it has become now, a failure, in debt with the IMF, Chinese taking over, beaches shrinking, and the locals not even to use the beaches? That's my question, sir. If you can entertain.
He was referring to all of the countries of the world that Black folks was being controlled by the politicians of that world. He was not just referring to Jamaica. He knew Jamaica was corrupt. Okay. They didn't like the politicians. They didn't like police. My uncle, my granduncle was a police, so he was corrupt. So I know he did not like that, but it was all over the world he was talking about, because he fought for liberation for Black people all over the world, period. Okay. That's what he was. But it wasn't just Jamaica, but Jamaica was included. Jamaica was included if they was being controlled by politics and politics, like we used to say back in the streets of Brooklyn. Politics.
King Simon, I appreciate you. Maybe in another time we can talk about Shashamani. I do want to go there in Ethiopia one day.
Yeah, me too, man. Shashamaliland. Yes, of course. Lalabella and all of them. Yes, I would love to go there. But yeah, thank you very much, Star. Take care, all right?
Thank you for tapping in.
All right. Thank you.
King Simon tapping in. Okay, hang on a second. Where is Advo? Advo, did you do the research before you go? Advo on Doug Williams.
Star. So 1988, that's when he won the Super Bowl. Now, I know why you like him, because Mr. Williams was also a snitch. He once
no, sir. Stop. Let's go back.
He snitched.
Advo, I'm going to get you out of here if you can't stay focused. You made a statement about a black man not being able to lead a team to a Super Bowl. Never mind that extra shit now. Doug Williams, what year did he win the Super Bowl? Black man.
2 years before I was born, 1988.
Okay. Would you care to apologize? Would you care to apologize to the foundational Black American community? Would you care to apologize?
No, I will not apologize, because he also testified in a cocaine trafficking ring. And he sent 12 black men to jail.
We don't care.
Oh no, I care, because he also sent men to jail. So no, he was a snitch. He was snitch.
Look,
he was snitching in the 80s.
I'm glad you educated yourself. Maybe another time we can talk about Alex Rodriguez, who is apologizing for getting that tan. Do you know that story?
Oh no, that's not a tan. Let's talk about it right now, because I'm actually looking for. No.
Slow down, please. You're rushing. Alex Rodriguez made a statement saying, no, it's a tan. He apologized. He said he fell asleep on the beach. Go ahead.
It's not, yeah, but when you say a tan, you gotta be careful when you say a tan. Like,
he said a tan
at the gym.
He said it.
No, but that's natural tan. That's from.
Let's get him out. I tried. Jesus, Marion Joe says, what is all the contention about? Alex Rodriguez made a video apologizing for the tan. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Troll babies. Sheesh. God almighty. I let people speak. I give you the last word. Doug Williams. Bone doing work. I got your donation. Give me a second. I'll get you on the line. Rom, I got your donation. Respect from Akron City. Okay, do you want to tap in, sir? Thank you for your support. If I'm saying your name right. Rom, I appreciate your support, man. Lex Diamond, salute, fam. Where was Cam's offensive line? I don't know. Okay. Jamal taking shots at Advo. I let him speak. We don't care about what else Doug Williams did. He won the Super Bowl. Black man. That's what you said. Okay, Sir Shy, thank you for your donation. Bone doing work. Are you tapping in? He says, I'm trying to video. Okay, let me see if I can find Bone doing work. Send this man the link. Hold on, guys. Bone doing work. Check your email. Guys, also on the screen, I want to make sure I'm promoting my sponsors. Okay. Hang on a second. BLK, the dating app for black singles. Okay. One of my sponsors. Please go there. Tell them I sent you. When I move to North Carolina next month, I might join BLK. Okay. 10.5 million downloads and counting. It's the number one dating app and lifestyle app for the black community. Founded in August of 2017. It's the authority on black love and relationships. Maybe I can find my Rita Marley on BLK. 786, good evening. Is that Sophia? 786? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, how you doing?
Hey, good to hear from you. What's cracking, Sophia?
You know, just tuning in, listening to what you guys are talking about. Right off the top, I do want to mention, just about 10 minutes ago, I saw Alex Rodriguez on the internet on some app, and
apologizing for the tan.
He said he fell asleep on the beach. Right. That's what he said.
Yeah, he was nigga-splaining. It's like, well, why can't you just say, hey, I got a tan? Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna hold you. It doesn't look like a beach tan. It does not look like a beach tan. That's what he said it was, but it does not. It looks like bronzer, and he went in the little booth. And you know, the type of woman that Alex Rodriguez like are the type that get them kind of tans, where it looks really, looks real butterscotch, artificial. So I don't know if I'm buying it. Either way, I don't think he should apologize. If he wants to get a fake tan, get a fake tan. These people be doing too much. But as far as the Bob Marley movie goes, I give it an 8.
Okay, you saw it.
8, 9.
You saw it.
Yes, I'm a huge Bob Marley fan. I dated one of his sons.
Okay.
I've met both Rita and Mother Booker in Miami when I lived out in Miami.
Okay.
And the thing about Bob Marley is this is long overdue. I feel like I know a lot of people in Jamaica are upset with the movie. They feel like it was whitewashed or watered down. In my opinion,
hang on. I'm not getting that. Where are you getting? What's your source for that? I'm not getting that. I see a lot of support
all over social media. All over social media. There's been a lot of people who have been very vocal about the fact that they feel like it. They were very upset, first of all, that the person that was chosen to play Bob Marley wasn't a Jamaican. A lot of folks are really salty about that.
He's British.
And then a lot
he's
of
British.
Yeah. He's British. Well, to me, he's black and he's an actor, so to me, none of that mattered. But a lot of Jamaicans that I have seen personally online, mostly on my Facebook, seem to be upset that it was watered down, that, a lot of elements were missing. And it's like, look, this is Hollywood. This is a Hollywood movie.
Okay.
It's not going to be roots raw like that. If that's what you want, watch one of the documentaries. But this is a movie for like a blockbuster movie, then of course it's going to be somewhat focused on the universal aspects of, the one love and all that. But he's a very, very, very important figure in the world for many reasons. And in my personal opinion, I feel like he is one of the most iconic and most important musicians of all time forever. Because music can make you feel a lot of things, but there was something about his music that really touches and it just hits your soul.
Okay.
In a very spiritual way. And that kind of magic, that's just very, very, very important. And I went through my Rasta phase. And so I was heavy into it.
Hold on. I mean, I'm not trying to put the screws in you, but you said you dated one of Bob Marley's sons. Might that have been Rohan? Keep it real.
No, it wasn't Rohan.
We're listening. Listening.
So what a lot of people don't know is that there's different sectors of Rastafari. There's like Naya Bingi. There's the 12 tribes.
Hang on. We're waiting for the name of who you dated. You don't have to kick his back in, but who you put it out there? Who'd you date?
He's named after his dad, Robbie.
You dated Robbie.
Robbie
Okay.
Somali Jr. Yeah.
I met Robbie. I met him on tour with Ziggy back in 1990. Very nice guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, were you guys?
Yeah.
Were you guys? How serious was this? If you can just entertain us here for a second.
On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe like in my mind, it was a 9. I was young. I was much younger than he was. And that was like my first love. So I think I was more feeling him than he was probably feeling me, if we're going to keep it a buck. But we're still good friends to this day. And I don't have one negative thing to say about that man,
Nice. Okay. So the film worked for you. Long story short, you could appreciate it.
I most certainly. I think that they did a really good job, and I'm glad that his children were involved in the making of the film. And I'm glad that they focused on Rita's aspect and Rita's importance. And I agree with you 100%. Like behind every great man, like every Martin Luther King has his Coretta Scott, and Rita was fundamental.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
No, you didn't say the Coretta analogy.
No, nor did I imply
that.
That.
Without Rita, there wouldn't have been a Bob Marley.
Okay, but yeah, I didn't say behind every successful man. No, it's not what I said.
No, that's me saying that.
Okay, well, don't try and put words in my mouth. Slow it down.
You
okay,
didn't.
So slow down. I said without Rita, we never would have known Bob Marley. That's
Right.
my
agree.
opinion. But I didn't say every man. No. Go ahead.
No, and I didn't say every man. I said every great man. That's coming from my mind.
You tried it, and I don't agree with you. But go ahead. You tried it.
Yeah. You know, we don't always see eye to eye, Star, but you know, that's my personal opinion. And I'm glad that they shined a light on Rita in this film a lot, because she's very important and fundamental in everything that Bob stood for and in his legacy.
Yeah. She knew her place. Yeah.
She's a great
She knew her place.
So it was a good movie.
Let me hear you say it. She knew her place.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I don't even like.
It's time to go then. Time to go. If you can't say that, that's what it was.
Good night.
Thank you. Let's get you up out of here. Don't call me. You're trying to twist my words. I caught you. Not every man. No. A lot of you hoes need a pimp. You out of pocket. Hang on a second. Oh, Bone doing work. Hey man, good to see you.
What's good? What's good? Not much. Just listen to that girl try to twist up your words right there.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate her calling. Where do you want to start, man?
I really just called in to talk about the Cam Newton because I haven't seen the Bob Marley yet.
Okay.
With the Cam Newton thing, I just thought it was interesting to hear some of the callers call in and actually condone what happened and not be on Cam Newton's side. And like that type of mindset is the reason why the hood is always going to be lost. Y'all like, you know what I'm saying? The hood likes to glorify the most ratchet behavior. Like that dude, he got millions. He don't need to be doing these football camps. He's like one of the few. I don't even watch football like that, but so I don't know how many black quarterbacks are in the league. But from what I know, he's one of the few good black quarterbacks there was in the league. And you know what I'm saying? He should be respected is basically all I'm getting to. Like, you got to respect these people. And, like, there ain't no respect for these people. When you ain't teaching that type of respect, the hood always going to be lost.
Yeah, I mean, everybody doesn't have to see things my way, but I was bothered by what I saw. I mean,
right.
And there's a couple of videos that are out there. And the one that I saw, the longer extended version, was I saw two young people put hands on him. Two, not just two.
Yeah, and I did a little bit of searching. I couldn't find the reason it went down, but no reason is gonna be good enough for you to just be wilding out like that. Like, I don't think we'll ever see. I want to say never, but we ain't never gonna see that with a white quarterback in a white quarterback camp. We ain't never gonna see these kids beating up the Aaron Rodgers. It ain't never gonna happen. Only stuff like that happens in the hood community. So yeah, I was just calling in to say, like, I don't agree with that. We need to stop glorifying that type of thing. And if people want smoke, stop jumping people. Run the ones. And that's why people get shot. They lucky Cam Newton didn't have that thing on him.
I don't think he would have done that.
Nah, you're right. He wouldn't have. But
I think as a businessman and someone who's genuinely concerned about younger black athletes coming up, I think he did what he thought was the right thing. But it's dangerous, man. In that Atlanta metro area, I live there, and I've been going there since the late '80s. It's dangerous, man. That was really risky on his part, but you know. Anything else you want to mention, man? Are you up to speed on the Benzino? Pardon me, Ray Dog clapping back at WAC 100? Finally, you know about that or no?
I be paying attention to Benzino, but I haven't seen that. I see they go back and forth a little bit every now and again.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I just think Benzino, like, he's just off his rocker. I think what I'm saying. He's looking for the drama and the clout. Same thing with WAC 100. I mean, they just always looking for clout, and that drama is the clout.
Well, I'm riding with him. If he's finally clapping back at WAC 100, I'm riding with Ray. Because he's been letting that guy talk a little too reckless over the last year and a half for me. But
yeah, man, I hope something happen. I mean, he be looking like he works out. WAC 100, he looks like he works out. Something need to happen. I'm tired of all this just YouTube drama. They got to fight or something.
Yeah.
So hopefully
man, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you
for sure, man. Have a good night, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me put my super chat information in the live chat. I promoted Panda Chop's link at the top of my live chat, and I'm going to promote my link, okay? Hang on a second, guys. Okay. Jesus Christ, I'm moving too slow here. Wait a minute. Try it again. Replace pinned message. There you go. Area code 404. Good evening. Are you there? 404. We're talking about the new Bob Marley movie, One Love, or Cam Newton in Atlanta recently brawling with teenagers. Are you there? 404.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm here. Peace, Star.
How are you?
Peace.
Peace.
I'm good, man. I wanted to add on about the Bob Marley biopic.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I went to go see it twice actually, and I really liked it.
Really?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I took my children the first time, and then I took my parents.
Okay.
To go check it out.
Wow.
You know, I raised my I raised my children up on it, up on his music and his lifestyle, so they were familiar with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we enjoyed it. You know, like some other callers have said at first, I thought it might have been a little bit too short for a man as great as he was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was less than 2 hours long, you know. But I think the acting was phenomenal. They didn't really cover a lot as much as I thought they would. It was really like based around the Smile Jamaica concert and, you know, him getting shot and, you know, going to London and stuff like that. But yeah, we enjoyed it. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
You know what else I appreciated about this film? The dialogue between he and Rita. The dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, they were talking, and they had to study their lines. He and the woman who played Rita. Pardon me if I didn't reference her name again. Hold on a second. I
forget her name too.
I enjoyed the dialogue. Lashana Lynch. She's also British.
Okay.
Lashana Lynch.
Okay.
It's good dialogue.
Okay.
It was a heterosexual couple. You know,
it was. But
talking through it. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, I did catch a little bit of the liberalism in the film when she was flirting with the other guy and he was getting all jealous.
Yeah.
And if you know his story, you know he's known for, you know, being with the ladies and stuff like that. And they flipped it and made it seem like he was the jealous one. You know, I was like, that was a little strange right there. You know, I just found that a little strange.
You're in tight.
They didn't really talk about the other women that he was with.
If I can just say this, you're entitled to your opinion, but Rita Marley was very, very good looking. She was a cutie. Yeah. So I can see. Other men,
no doubt about that.
I can see other men trying to holler at her, and she just had a natural, pretty smile. So that may have bothered him.
Yeah, he was hot. He was hot in the movie.
He may have gone upside her head, and they left that part out. Come on, we're talking the 70s, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and just by doing research and watching his documentaries and stuff like that, that never came up with him, you know, the jealousy part, you know. So I just thought that was a little different, you know. And it kind of made it seem like, you know, that was the only woman that he was with. You know, that's what I got from the movie. And I'm like, well, he was with a lot more other women too. You know, they didn't really bring that up. But
so, do you know who he?
There's a lot of stuff that was missing.
Do you know
a lot of stuff that.
Do you know who he wrote the song "Turn Your Lights Down Low" for? Turn Your Lights Down Low.
I think that was Junior Gong's mom, Breakspear, right? Cindy Breakspear.
Cindy.
Yes, Breakshire.
But Rita, sir, Rita. That film.
She was the first.
She was
his first.
Sir, I'm gonna let you have the last word. She was the one who gave us Bob Marley. I'll give her that credit, man. I'll give her that credit. You know, she gave us Bob Marley.
I can too.
I can too. Like you said earlier, she introduced him to Rastafari. You know, she brought him around. Yeah, and they showed that in the film, and I appreciated that too.
She's in the background on stage singing the love songs that he wrote to other bitches.
No doubt.
Give her props.
That's a fact. No. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know.
Go finish up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nah. Rita had an understanding. That Bob was on the mission, and she had an understanding of that. And she didn't express her feelings and taking it personal. All the things that he did with having other children and things like that. So
she played her position.
She's definitely a special woman.
Yeah.
To have that understanding. Yeah. But it was a really good film. It was a really good film.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yep.
Appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.
Rita played her position, stayed in her lane with that pretty smile, Let's get back to the show here. Area code 215. Are you up to speed? Did you see the Bob Marley film One Love? 215.
Yo, what's up, Troy?
Yes, sir.
What's good with you, Troy?
It's cracking, man.
I'm all right. Same old. I seen the movie. My lady friend, she kind of begged me to go see it. I thought it was gonna be kind of cheesy, like a couple of other callers said. Like I seen the actor. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, it should look. I mean, excuse my language. It looked a little corny. Like I didn't think the guy acting as Bob Marley really looked like Bob Marley. Because Bob Marley had this like mystic thing to him, and I didn't think dude really had it. Mm-hmm. But I went to see the movie and I really enjoyed it. Like I was definitely surprised about it. And I agree with you about Rita. I watched that documentary.
Queen Rita. Queen.
Yeah.
Huh?
I watched that documentary that they had about Bob Marley. That came out about I think it was like 2012 or 2013. It came out.
Yeah.
And they was talking in that documentary that when Bob and the band had the girls in the room and they needed to get them out, they would get Rita and I3 to get them out the room.
Right.
Like she knew. She was just
Rita was with the bullshit. She knew.
Yeah.
This white man with the 10. Hang on a second. This white man with the 10. This is my ticket out of here. Let me play my position. Right?
Yeah. I like how she said in that documentary that she said that it was a mission. Like they had a mission to do, and Bob was the messenger, and these women they was there. Bob liked the women. And the women like Bob, and she was part of the mission. Like I really appreciated her for that.
Yeah. Agreeable. It's hard to hard to find an agreeable black woman. It's even harder to find an agreeable Italian. Oh my God. You see, when I go in on Italian girls, people don't listen. They don't listen. But anyway, Rita.
Yeah, I definitely.
What a beautiful smile back in her days, huh? Her smile could just, make a motherfucker want to damn near fight Bob, huh?
Well, I see it like, a lot of people said that the movie was like a biopic, but I don't think it was a biopic. I think it was a period piece. Like it wasn't. It just focused on a couple periods in his life. Like if you watch a movie about Civil War or something like that, and they got a part with General Grant in it. Like they only talking about his part of his life when he was in the army, not when he was the president or not when he was a little boy. I think it was the same thing with that movie. Like it wasn't about Bob's life and meeting Peter Tosh. And even though I would have liked to have seen Bunny Wailer and Peter Tosh in the movie because they was very integral.
Hang on, so they were in that piece when they went to the record label in the early days.
Yeah, when they was
them.
When they was teenagers.
That was Peter Tosh there. He used to wear that certain type of wool hat. That was him with the bowl on top. That was him.
Yeah, and the sunglasses. He had the exact clothes on that you saw him in like those videos.
Yes.
So I really appreciated that. They had the little part in there, but Peter and Bunny was really the Wailers was named after Bunny. So
yes,
it's like all right, like
yes, we know.
You could have put a little bit more. But I enjoyed it. I liked the Chris Blackwell. He was an integral part of that, and I think the one of the bass player's son was actually played his father, who just passed away, Ashton Barrett. But I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I liked it. And another thing, your other topic is about Cam Newton fighting the kids. Like I'm from 215. I'm from Philly, right? Like so, you know, I grew up with Randall Cunningham was the quarterback when I was a kid, right? So I couldn't imagine like me and my homies. Like this just go to show you how much we have deteriorated as a group of black people. And I know I'm not talking about you as we, because I know you color neutral, but I'm just talking about black people. Like I couldn't imagine being a kid and Randall Cunningham coming to my school or my rec center and we fighting that nigga. Like I couldn't imagine that in a million years. Like that's how loaded we came, and we got black men that was in the Super Bowl fighting hoodlums in the street. Like we came a long way down, man.
Well, Randall was a good guy, and allegedly Whitney Houston punched him in the face twice, and that's why they stopped dating. Did you know about that?
Yeah, I remember. Yo, like I said, I grew up. Randall was like that. He was the talk of the town, man. So we knew about his exploits with the women.
Sir, no. Allegedly, Whitney Houston punched him in the face twice, and that's why I'll Google it. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but go ahead. You say.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid, so you know, I was a kid when Randall was playing, but I remember Whitney and him was an item. So yeah, and I know Whitney was very hood with it, and you know, she chose who she chose. You know, Randall wasn't her type of dude, so you know, she chose a Roxbury dude over Randall. So.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. But he wasn't with the shits, man. Randall is a good person. Yeah. They dated for 2 years. They dated for 2 years, from 85 to 87. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
He was a good, but he's ringless. He couldn't get it done, so you know.
But just fighting him if he came to the hood to play ball with us and do a 7-on-7, it's just ridiculous to think that would even happen. Like, I mean, that's the 80s, the early 90s, whatever. But now we in the 2020s, and these young thugs, they feel like they can fight the quarterback. So I mean, they get what they get. But
hang on a second. So I just since we're going left here for a second, you're from Philly, born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
He actually left in the middle of an Eagles preseason game one time because Whitney told him, "Let's go get some blow."
Yeah, it was
hang on, sir.
Yeah, that was
crossingboard.com. Crossingboard.com. Randall Cunningham.
Crossing broad. Yeah,
broad. Crossing. Once left in the middle of an Eagles preseason game to go party with Whitney. Now I don't know if he was on the booger sugar or not, but Whitney was on that bullshit. But I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Definitely take it easy, Star.
Yes, sir. Folks, I don't know why we went left like that. Just when I just started thinking about Whitney. Oh, was she gangster with it, huh? She was gangster with it. Folks, I have a brand new camera. Bear with me. I'm trying to figure it out. If there's anybody who has a Lumix GH52, I'm going to play around with the color tomorrow. Okay. Play around with the color and the saturation and all that fly shit. But if anybody has this camera, you can assist me with. I want to run the audio through the camera. I should be able to do that. Run the audio from the mixer through the camera and then into the computer, because I just want a different look. You know, if anybody has knowledge, please send me an email. Let me see if my email information is on the screen. I got to put this on the screen. All right. And sit tight, guys, on the phone. There it is. That's my email address if anybody has the camera, the GH52 Lumix. Okay. Let's go to area code 415. We're talking about the Bob Marley film One Love or Cam Newton brawling.
Yo,
with
yeah.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
Yeah, I'll talk about the Bob Marley One Love. It was like the last guy said, it was I can see what he was, you know, it being a period piece, but overall, man, I wasn't really feeling it. I think it would be a great introduction for someone who's not familiar with his music. I felt like, you know, they didn't talk about his managers before, like Danny Sims, Eddie Sims, and them, who was there before Don Taylor. You know, Frankie Crocker was very instrumental in really getting them that look in New York, really getting them popularized. So, you know, the great Frankie Crocker really helped him out in the States, and you know, him trying to get to that R&B arena. So I don't know. It just seemed like they just had places. They had these stories, and they were in different places. It seemed like to me, but yeah, it was cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, your opinion is your opinion. I'm not trying to sway your opinion. Can I ask how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 38.
Yeah, there's a whole lot that they could have covered, but there's already documentaries out there. You name names that most young people today don't know, nor would they even do the research on Frankie Crocker. You know, I always acknowledge him.
Yeah.
But
Frankie Crocker's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT, period. You know what I mean? Inner City Broadcasting, WBLS 107.5 all day.
He was one of the GOATs, sir. One of the GOATs. But now at the same time, there's nothing wrong with a movie being right for the times, cookie cutter, if you will. You know, I mean, if we look at all the other stuff that's going on, BMF, all this other gangster vibrato, drug dealing bullshit that's on, you know, in television, the internet, I think this film stands out. It's a love story. It's a love story. You don't have to see it like that, but I'm just saying. Again, I'm born in '64. Yeah, I could talk about all the intricate details and what was missing, yada yada yada. But you know, I looked at it and I said, you know, it works. Oh, it's just not that bad. But go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying. You know, I thought, you know, I mean, respects to Rita, and you know, I know Ziggy was involved, so I know he's gonna, you know, make sure that his mom obviously gets representation as well. And she was a soldier. She was with them and everything like that. You know, one thing they didn't talk about was that him and Bonnie are actually brothers. They're stepbrothers, I believe. So, you know, I was like, I wonder why they didn't really go into that, you know, other than the group being named after Bonnie and things like that. So I just like, okay, this is interesting, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Temptations movie. You know, it's not going to be the whole truth. So you just have to just kind of accept it for what it is or whatever.
Did you say the Temptations movie?
Yeah.
Oh. Go back for a second. What did we miss with the Temptations movie?
I mean, the Temptations movie in a lot of ways, man. It was a lot of ad truth in it. I was fortunate to be around a few of the Temptations who actually worked with David, worked with Dennis and some of the original.
David Ruffin, for those who don't know, David Ruffin.
Yeah, David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Otis Williams, Mel Franklin, and Edwards. And they just talked about how, you know, David wasn't. They talked about how like David still had relationships with the guys even after his leaving the group. Like he still showed up to rehearsals. You understand? So, so again, sir, it was just like with Bob Marley and this movie, that movie, it was just a lot of things that were left to be unsaid or just have truth or like, they, even with the Temptation movie, they made it like David Ruffin and the guy who replaced him, Dennis Edwards, like they were mortal enemies, and they weren't. Everybody was.
If I can jump in for a second, you sound like a very knowledgeable young man, but I don't think there's any comparison. And you're saying half truth. This is Ziggy and Rita's version of their father's life, so it's not necessarily not truth, But I don't like the correlation you're trying to make towards Bob Marley, who smoked a natural ganja, to the Temptations, who were coked the fuck out and beaten on bitches. Oh yeah, David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks. I mean, if you're going to talk about the Temptations, you can't leave that out. So there's no correlation between them and Bob Marley. But I'll let you finish up though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, as far as just, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I hear all that what you saying. I'm just saying, as far as just the way a movie was being, the way the movies were being put together, whatnot. Like even like
coked out, smoked out, and beaten on bitches, sir. That's why they hooked up with Rick James. That's hooked up with Rick James.
Yeah, that's true. You got a point.
Standing on the top.
Point.
Anyway, I thank you, man. Thank you for the call. Thank you.
Yes,
sir. Thank you.